going to the next presentation before the break. So we have my friend Mike Draghici. It's a Romanian citizen. I mean, a Romanian guy, but he's been like 20 years in the United States or something. I don't remember.
Yeah.
And
cool.
he's trying to convince me to use, my face to pay when I'm, going to shop, okay, or to any kind of concert. Yeah, that's a good use case. Okay.
Yeah, I got 18 minutes. I'll tell you why.
Okay, thank you, Mike Draghici.
Hello.
Power Dynamic Technologies, the CTO.
Thank you, Hugo. It's an honor to be here. I decided to walk around with this thing. So, my name is Mihai Draghici. I'm CTO at Power Dynamic Technology. And I'm going to tell you a little story about myself. I was born here in Bucharest, and in 1985, my parents packed 4 suitcases. One of them had just pillows, and they took me and my brother to America. I was 5 years old. So I grew up in Texas, and I'm a bit of a cowboy. They call me Mike. And in the next 18 minutes, I'm going to tell you why I think your face is going to become the key to almost everything you do throughout the day. There's been plenty of times that I've left home. I've gone to the store or the gas station, and I get there, I get all my stuff ready at the checkout counter, and I don't have my wallet. It's pretty much instant panic mode. I start shaking. I'm like, oh my God, where's my wallet? It freaks you out, and I think a lot of us have gone through that. I know Mihai here on our team, he's lost his card, and he's on our team. So there's a clicker, isn't there? Ah, see, I knew I was missing something. Thank you. Let's see where we're at. Yeah, so your face is your key to everything you do throughout the day. And the reason I chose your face is because you never leave home without it. You can go to the store, don't have to worry about your wallet, you don't have to worry about losing your card. And one day when we get on a rocket and we fly out to outer space, there's a good chance you're not bringing your iPhone or your wallet or your purse with you on the rocket. So after growing up in Texas, I moved to Seattle and I started my software engineering career. I worked for the ex-senior vice president of Visa. I've worked for the ex-senior vice president of the Federal Reserve Bank, and I was a subject matter expert on the future of payments for the Fed in Atlanta, Georgia. And by 2018, I was living on a sailboat in Seattle, and I was building my own winery on the Columbia River in Chelan County in Washington State. And my mom called me up and she said, hey, son, I think you're bored. Why don't you go back to Romania, go eat some mici, chase some gagici, and that's what I did. I came back in 2018. I met my lovely wife, who's here from Ploiești. Hi, honey. And I was sitting at a coffee shop. The lady came out when I was done drinking my coffee, and she said, how do you want to pay, cash or card? I'm sure everyone's heard that saying, cash or card. I was like, why don't I just pay with my face? And I did that. I built a prototype in, what's wrong with this thing? I built a prototype in 2018, and I launched Pay by Face in 2019 at Cremier Coffee near Calea Victorii. And ProTV wanted to call us up. So by 2020, I got in a car with my wife and our 1-year-old son, and we drove 5 days across Europe to Amsterdam because we got accepted in the Startup Bootcamp program. It's one of the largest accelerators in the world, and they said, hey, go figure out how you're going to make this work. And right when we got there, COVID hit, and we were stuck in our apartment. So we had to figure out, how are we going to get people to pay with their face when we can't even leave the house? And we had to come up with a very clever solution, and we did. So my wife was standing there with our 1-year-old at the door inside. The Glovo guy came with the food and the water, and he scanned her face through a window. She didn't have to open the door. Took payment, left the stuff, and left. Everybody loved it. You can imagine. It's like, yes, we have a solution. So where do I point this thing? By 2021, Visa Innovation Program decided to call us up and say, hey, come to Bulgaria. We want to work with you. We think this is pretty innovative. And so at that point, Raiffeisen Bank agreed to sign a commercial partnership, and we started testing the heck out of this in Bulgaria. We still had COVID lockdowns, so it was still very challenging. But we figured out one really important aspect, that 80% of people that pay once with their face will come back the next day and do it again. They love it. They fall in love with it. You've probably seen it on TikTok in China, but when you actually see someone right in front of your face do it, you get chills. It's really interesting. And by 2020, I met the wonderful folks in Mihai Ungureanu, thank you, sir. In about a week, we put together my tech and his tech, and we built the first biometric ATM. And we put it on stage at Imperio Leilor, where I walked up on stage with no phone, no cash, nothing, and I took money, real money, out of the ATM with just my face. It was pretty amazing. And at that point, MasterCard wanted to talk to us. So we flew to Dubai, and we joined the global MasterCard checkout program. And they basically asked us, take this global, figure out how to make this global, obviously on the MasterCard gateway. But yeah, they said, make payments global with your face. And I had a problem. My passport was expiring. My US passport was expiring. I had 30 days left, and I was in Daman, Saudi Arabia, with escort, police escort, taking me through the gates to put me on a plane to Italy, back to Texas, because nobody would let me on a plane with a passport under 30 days expiration. And I was like, I pushed it to the limit. And I ended up back in Texas, got together with my brother, and we're like, hey, I've been to India 9 times. We tested this in South Africa. We tested this all over the world. Let's test it here in Texas. Let's see if Americans like it. And they did. They loved it. We just didn't have a gateway. So I called Mihai Ungureanu up again last year in November, and I said, you know what? I think we have something real special. This is not going away. This is going global. So let's build some more cool stuff together. And he bought me a plane ticket, and 7 months ago, I landed back in Bucharest. In the last 7 months, we've turned using your face for just payments to using your face for everything you do throughout the day. And I believe that's what's going to happen. So why your face? Well, who here has an iPhone? Raise your hand. Do you use Face ID? Yeah? I think we all do. I do. I love it. I don't want to sit there 60 times a day and type my password. I just look at it, it unlocks. It makes sense. So the face recognition market worldwide in 2024 was almost $6.5 billion. And by 2032, it's going to be over $22 billion. That's a big market. We want a piece of that. There's also some serious problems in the way we pay today, like identity theft. And in 2022, just in the US, and just reported cases, was over 400,000 reported cases of credit card-related identity theft. Of course, here in Europe, we have 3DS, OTP, banking, it helps, but it's still not perfect. And now, because baby, we got EU ID coming. Europe knows it. Europe knows we need digital identity. So they're forming, the Commission has just finished a lot of large-scale pilots to start digitizing our documents, our passports, our driver's license. Everything is going to be in a mobile app provided by the government that tells you exactly who you are. But we don't think you should put a passport to buy a cup of coffee. So we made it a little different. And that's why we built SecureID. So SecureID is the red dot in the middle, which starts with your face and a few other elements, and then you can go anywhere with it. So, for example, Power Kids, which I love. We came up with this, you sir. We have our 6-year-old, and he loves to go to the market, buy Legos. He's only 6, he can't go by himself, but when he goes to, when he turns 11 or 12 or 13, he's gonna ride his bicycle. You think he's gonna have a phone or my card with my PIN in his pocket? No way. I'm gonna give him his face registered with my card behind there, and he can just go on his bicycle with nothing, just his face, buy his Legos, buy his juice, come home safe. It makes sense. Power access, which is another cool one. You want people to come to work and make sure they come to work on time and track who they are, and sure, it's a little dystopian, but it makes sense. For some people in the industry and in the organization who care about this stuff, it makes a lot of sense. So it just depends who you pitch it to. Power robotics, which we have at our booth, a robot that now with age verification, digital identity in your age verification, now at 2 in the morning, when all the other pharmacies are closed, you can come to our robot pharmacy with your face and your wallet, your digital biometric wallet, and buy your medication. You can have instant telemedicine, and there's no human involvement at all. Another really cool one, Power Avatar, which I like. Now with agentic AI, ChatGPT, we don't need keyboards anymore. We don't need mice. We don't need all these apps with close and menu and options and all. We just talk to it. Just talk to it. Tell it what you want, and it'll just do what you want. So Power Avatar is an interactive AI kiosk, and we can demo that at our booth too. It's pretty special. It's a little, new, but it's going to get better and better. And these are just examples, and these are real. So all those apps are in the App Store right now. They're live. We built them in the last 7 months on Android and iOS. And obviously, there's some benefits to all this. I know this because I've been doing it for 7 years, and at this point, I've dedicated my entire life to this. I believe in it so much. So the number one experience, it's everything. You take payments beyond the transaction. You know who taught me that? The senior vice president of Visa. On my way to India, on Emirates, 18-hour flight nonstop from Seattle to Dubai, I had the senior vice president of Visa right here and the chief architect of Visa right here. And you know what they told me? Go build a better Visa and take payments beyond the transaction. Payments are boring. We wanted to make it fun. Experience. Give the customer an experience they will never forget. Second one, obviously, security. It's got to be better. It's got to be more secure. And we think we made that happen with all the MasterCard help, the Visa help, the Raiffeisen help, the global testing we've done. We think we have a better widget, better mousetrap. And we can talk to you in deep technical conversations about how it works. Obviously, convenience. We're all getting ready to go to the beach. Who here takes all your stuff, your phones, your cash, everything, puts it under the towel on the beach? Who does that? I do. And it's safe, right? That's safe. No, it's not. Why don't we leave all that stuff in the hotel where it is safe and just go on the beach, go in the water, get out, go to the bar, buy a beer with my face. Wet. I mean, it makes sense. Convenience. Speed. It's got to be fast. You can't be sitting there like, oh, is it going to work? Is it not going to work? Like, I'll just take my card out and do it. So we tested this. We tested the heck out of this with Visa and MasterCard. It's got to be just like tapping. And it is. Every time you look at your iPhone, unlock. It's just like that. And of course, everybody's got to use it. We made it integration. We had to slap an API portal, and now we're going to give it away, basically, and let you build your own apps against our APIs. Just like Google Maps API gave Uber the capability, we're giving our APIs so you can go get creative against that. And I'll cover that on another slide. So you don't need phones, cards, cash, keys. My pockets are full. I wish this jacket was empty right now, but I have to carry this stuff with me. I have 2 phones. You know how much stress that is? I don't want any problems. And this gentleman here gave me that worry-free payments. He's our marketing chief. And we've built some really cool stuff at Power Dynamics. I'm so proud of this stuff. You should come by our booth and check it out because it's definitely really, really exciting. From interactive kiosks where you just pay with your face, our developers have been working nonstop the last 7 years. And we've made this cross-platform, platform agnostic. It doesn't have to be on Windows. It can be on Windows, iOS, Linux, Android. We built it in a drone in London. The drone had the software in it. It could fly, scan your face, drop the pizza, and keep going. So it can be on anything. And it's built right here in Romania, in Draghici. We built it right here, not in China, not in Russia. We built it right here. And like I said, we want to give it to everyone to open it up, have an API portal. It's the same API portal that NASDAQ and PayPal uses. So we wanted to give it some enterprise-grade architecture. And just as an example, ArtKeeper, who's one of our partners, they built a plugin in under 24 hours. I think they called us up at, like 6 afternoon, and they said, hey, give us access. By the morning, their apps were done. I don't know how they did it, but it was done. They said, here, it's ready. Hook the iPad up and let's test it out. And they had a working payment with face inside of their system within 24 hours. So built by engineers, for engineers, but with some really interesting common sense. So I'm going to give you guys, if you haven't done so already, I've met with some people at our booth. They did it. I helped them sign up. But if you want to scan this code, it'll take you straight to the app. I'll give you just a moment to do this if you want to try it out. But if you do, we'll give an iPad away. I have it sitting in a plastic wrap box right behind our booth. So if you do this and you come by our booth, scan your face. You need to link your ticket. So all you need to do is just take a selfie and put your face pin, and then link your ticket. So you need to get a friend to take a picture of the QR code, and then you scan it on their phone, because you can't do it on the same phone, right? So find some friends, talk about each other, hand some business cards and do this too. If you didn't get this QR code, you can find it later, or come ask me. That's what the key looks like. Look for that key right there in the App Store. So I don't know where that happened to the presentation, but there's one more important slide, please. I still have 5 minutes. No, it works on both. It's an Android and iPhone. So I did the iOS version. Our dev here did the Android. So find one of us if you need help through them. Oh, well, then I will get you RP. I will get you RP, yes. So we're going to have a little short movie, but I want to leave you with one thought. Who remembers these video game arcades? Who played the video game arcades? Yeah? Guess what? They're all sitting in a room collecting dust. You've never seen them ever again. And you know what? I think the pulse, taking out your card or your phone and tapping on that thing, there's going to be a moment in time where you never do that again. And I believe that because I have a working solution. So come visit us at our booth, and let me show you a little bit of what the future looks like, one selfie at a time. Thank you.
Hold on a second. So Mike from Bragadiru or from Seattle?
From Texas.
From Texas?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Now, if you're going to convince this audience that they're going to use your app or at least test it, then I'm going to put my money into your startup, okay? And I'm going to convince our investors. Sweet. Because I do understand that you have big plans.
I can't make that decision by myself.
I got a question from one of our CIO council members.
Hi.
Hi.
When compromised, you can cancel your credit card. How do you cancel your face?
You delete it, and you redo it. Because every time you take a selfie in the app, it doesn't take your photo. It encrypts it like a key. And so every time you take a new one, it's like a fresh card just came out of the mail.
There is another one. How can I steal my father's money with this solution?
Oh, you could, yeah, absolutely. We thought of that too. That's what we did at Imperio Lelo. So it works. Of course, this is just play money today, and we still have to work on the financial infrastructure. But the idea is that just like you send money to an email address, that email address is an account in SecureID, and you can pick how much you want to send them, and it'll just do P2P payments. So it'll send it to probably like an ATM like we've built, and you just walk up to the ATM with your face, which authenticates you with your digital identity, and you just put in your face pin in your face, no phone, nothing, and you take out the money. And they could be in Germany, and you could be on the beach in Mamaya.
Okay, there is another one on the back.
Hi, Mike. Amazing and scary technology.
Thank you.
So, because this is already used in, let's say, in banking and in credit cards, I want to throw to you a question, which is how this technology will work in the future. Is like a tokenized card that can be, so I'm registered today for one bank, but that tokenized card can be spread to multiple stores if my tokenized card is not tied to a merchant ID. Do you plan to reuse my face to any store that can use this technology, or is going to be tied up to one store like a merchant ID tokenized card?
You hit the bullseye on that one. That was the most important part of building this system. And the idea was that we didn't really have the payment gateway infrastructure when I launched this in 2019 to actually do that. But they created some new APIs for us, which is basically, we leveraged reoccurring multi-merchant payment tokens. Okay, so dynamic price, just like you subscribe to Netflix, and you put your card in there and they automatically deduct every 30 days, we basically use that mechanism. And we built a marketplace so that I have a primary mid where all the cards get tokenized, and all the other merchants are like a virtual mall, all under our sub-mids, with a multi-merchant reoccurring payment token. Basically, I made you subscribe to your everyday shopping. That's how it works. So, yes.
And even more interesting, imagine a flock of birds. Your identity moves along of your geographic point, which means that
So Edward, you're our chief marketing officer. He helped me create this. Please tell them how you did this.
Thank you, Mike. So imagine that you don't have your wallet and your ID based in, let's say Ploiești, because you're here. But as you move based on your location, it moves with you the identity. So you only have against your identity in the stores around you in a geographic distance that you set up for 10 kilometers, for example. And as you move, it erases the data from the store merchants where you've been, and it moves to the new ones. So it's updating time, and that it's an extra security level, which you cannot have with a card, right?
And I'll tell you a little bit more about that because I built it. So, thanks, Edward.
Să știi, Mike, pentru că tu înțelegi și românește, că am niște colegi din zona, există un CIO care este foarte, foarte celebru pentru zona de AI și care zice că soluția asta ar fi putut să o implementeze de mai multă vreme, dar este sceptic și nu vine doar de la el, despre apetența customerilor ca să-și înroleze cardul cu fața.
Absolut, și asta era provocarea, știu și vor română, provocarea care am avut-o cu Visa în Bulgaria. A fost foarte greu, mai ales că lumea nu vrea să facă. O persoană a zis că ia cancer dacă face. Deci, am avut și noi dificultățile astea, dar am observat cu ajutorul inovator de la Visa și de la Raiffeisen Commercial Team, care au avut un scop să facă, cu alții pilde în geamuri, în baie, pe mese, adică trebuie să-i incentivize. Nu e așa că mă gândesc eu să plătesc cu fața, dar trebuie să le dai ceva, o cafea, și este $5 customer acquisition cost. Atât. Un pahar de suc sau o cafeluță și o încerci, pentru că 80% care încerc o dată vine apoi a doua zi și o fac din nou.
Ok, puteți să testați soluția, eu am testat-o, este ok. Dacă vă înregistrați, intrați și la tombola de final, care încă n-am hotărât cum o să se desfășoare, dar puteți să câștigați un iPad. Mike Draghici from Texas, mulțumim foarte mult! Thank you very much!